What did Apple just announce?
Apple just
$500 billion investment, into manufacturing, including, things like, new AI service facilities, like in places like Houston. So, this is kind of coin. This is a response in a way from the tariffs from President Trump. And so this is like, hey, we get it. We need to bring some of these jobs back to the U.S. And we need to build more opportunities up here. So Apple says, okay, cool. What we're going to do, we're going to commit $500 billion investment. Was it next 10 years, 5 years?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like some 5 to 10 years or anything. So basically back into the workforce stuff, if you will, everything. Now, I can guarantee you, and I can promise you, that those jobs that are created will be specifically designed for the ones who has hopped on a treadmill. And there will be no ifs, ands, buts about it.
Oh yeah.
I can guarantee you. And so, and whatever that role may be, I mean, role can just be customer support if there still is a thing by then. If there still is a role and everything, that can be marketing, that can be on legal side and everything. I can guarantee you that role, those jobs and those roles and those jobs and that workforce will be designed first for the ones. I would take it as far as this is very similar to how roles started to switch in the 80s, where it was required to have a college degree.
Yep. Go ahead.
And you've seen the workforce kind of partner with the universities, and they kind of created this box. And basically, if you didn't fit the rules of the box, in a lot of areas, you was left out.
Yep.
And it gave people the opportunity to fast track, and stuff in their careers and stuff where it may be, and basically to get a part of this economic society that had now that people had determined of what the economic society can be. It's almost the same thing.
You're absolutely right. And because if you look at the comparison, like of lists, like historically, where these kind of initiatives, these like manufacturing, because Apple also announced that they were going to do like an academy kind of thing, like a school, a training program as well. So that is like, Ford, Caterpillar, General Electric, they have like training programs like that. And I remember, I'm old enough to know that like when things were becoming computerized in the government or like municipality sector, I was working an internship during that time. And there were some people who did not want to hop on the digitization train and were like, nah, computer stuff, that ain't for me. I ain't doing that. And they were left behind because the people that did hop on that, they became management. They became more valuable to the company because they did the training. They just did the training. They went through the program and did it. So
it's the exact same thing with the Industrial Revolution.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember years ago. I've been in the industry now, like so many different changes and trends, right? And I remember going to a digital transformation course. The company sent me to, what was it, University of Michigan, to study there for, it was like 2 weeks. It's like a 2-week immersion into digital transformation to help principal engineers, ingrain themselves in digital transformation and how to bring that out in customers and within organizations. And it was amazing, but also at the same time, I was like, wow, like the amount of effort that folks are on the later side of the adoption curve have to go through to kind of catch up.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Can I say something about that too? Because I felt that way when I was starting to teach myself coding, right? So it just seemed like an insurmountable like mountain to like to get over, because you would have to go back and learn the basics of a lot of things that you didn't know in order to get to where you wanted to be. So I don't know if this is right. The way my approach has always been to start at the end, like to start with just building the things and then learn backwards. So if you have an idea of something that you want to build, then you figure out how to build that thing, and then you start to learn the fundamentals of each piece along the way. And that's the only way that my brain can kind of work. Where like, where I feel like now where I do more coding in Python, it's because I literally work backwards to get there. It was by necessity and just understanding that, like, how I got back to working in coding in Python, where I started in JavaScript.
So watch this. Another t-shirt, another coin phrase, stuff, if you will. I even Google it and everything's popping up. What's up? Might even put this on a website too, Adrian. Something is about to quickly come. And I said this on one of our podcasts as well. The term AI illiterate.
AI illiterate, yeah.
It's going to get here sooner than later.
Oh.
And if you remember too, if you're just talking about like even now there's stamps and there's markings of people deemed as computer illiterate, and it is not a good thing. And stuff. And so we're going to start to see individuals. I hope not, but this is this country, communities marked as AI illiterate. That goes back to kind of being in that box, and stuff. And so, you had reading illiterate and everything, and then you had computer illiterate, and now what's going to happen is AI illiterate.
Yeah.
If you're not able to, basically, if you're not able to hop on that treadmill, at least at speed 1, unfortunately, you're probably marked as AI illiterate.
Yeah. Just to kind of connect back to the investment that Apple's making, right? That's such a huge number over time, right? And keep in mind, if Apple's creating infrastructure, best believe is they're not planning to use NVIDIA unless they, are like, they're definitely not planning to use NVIDIA. They're planning on using their Apple silicon and doing advancements on that, which they will connect back to consumer products. I'm 100% sure, which will also help the local LLM revolution that I'm trying to be part of.
Yeah,
bro. What did I say a couple weeks ago? That Apple's way, when something new comes out, they partner with somebody to get it out in speed, and on the back end, they go build it themselves.
Yeah,
and then they put it back in the universe, the Apple universe. It's gonna be the same thing.